Squat every day, 145. So I worked yesterday. Added to that, I did power cleans before I went to work, which is a movement I don't often do. And today I feel horrible. It was a catering job, so I worked pretty hard, and I ate a bunch of food that's not conducive of, well, it's not even really bad food necessarily as a treat, but I'm pretty sensitive to inflammation, especially right now. And today is a rest day. I just finished my breath work. I just finished my run. Both were really challenging, and I still have the squats to do. My right ankle is throbbing like a cow's heart at a gallop. A little poetry there. My hip hurts, my elbows, my shoulders. No right thinking trainer would say this is a training day. They just wouldn't. And I'd be in agreement with them. But I still have to squat. And I don't know, I guess I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about keeping that promise to yourself and what it's about, you know? It's often viewed as this sort of masochistic thing. Like go hard every day, blah, blah, blah. David Goggins style horse shit. That's not in my heart. I don't feel that at all. It isn't what it's about. I'm trying to trust myself. Trying to trust myself completely, you know? Trying to be the sort of person that does what he says he's going to do when he says he's going to do it, with himself first and most. And that requires a daily sacrifice and offering to, you could call it God, for that gift. I don't believe in God, but I think the principle is identical. In fact, I think that's what prayer and sacrifice always was. A symbol, a metaphor, you know, an appeal to the future for gifts and a showing of willingness to trade for those gifts. You know, I squat every day, and I squat on my birthday, I squat on Christmas, I squat when I'm sick, when I'm tired, when I'm hurt. I'll squat when my mom dies, you know? And not because it matters on that day, because it certainly doesn't. In fact, it's probably toxic. Well, in the last example, with my poor mother, that's definitely toxic and a poor use of my time and resources, assuming I really do it, right? But it isn't about a sort of back patty heroism on that day. It's about the days after, you know? The day where you wake up and you just don't want to. You have no excuses, you know? You just don't want to. You're just in a mood. And we all have days like that too. And almost always we give ourselves the day off. We let ourselves off that hook. What I'm suggesting is this is a strategy to not let yourself off the hook, to even remove the idea of there's a hook that you're on at all, that it's not an option, you know? And that means some days you got to do your dirty business when it's hard, you know? And I'm not going to go hard today. I'm going to hit my minimum. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And even that is non-productive. As far as being a better athlete, as far as improving my squat, today will almost certainly hurt those efforts. No positive benefit, except one. Except it fortifies that promise that I've made to myself and gives me currency for sharp dealing in the future. if you've listened this far, maybe you're unconvinced by that argument. I get it. I absolutely do. You know how I learned this? I learned this just a few years ago, in part by watching Ivan Jurek, of course, because I'm plagiarizing him, but also Duolingo. I started doing Duolingo through COVID. I started doing German. And I don't know German. Like, I'm not good at German, but I know more German than I deserve. Every day I do like 5 minutes of German on Duolingo. And like, I can watch a kid's cartoon in German and I don't need the subtitles. Like, I mean, I guess even though I said otherwise, I know German now. And I'm playing a dumb little game on my phone with an owl cartoon. I learned German for no reason by just doing the smallest amount of it every day. Even when I didn't want to, which was almost always, you know? I feel like I'm coming off as morose today. I feel like I have a depressive way about me. And I didn't sleep well. My body hurts. Power cleans are hard on your upper body joints, your shoulder, your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, your neck. Weirdly, your neck. But I'm happy. I'm going to do front squats today. Maybe to a pin. And I'll get my minimum on front squats, which I think is 150. We'll see what happens. And I'm going to call it for the day. And I'm going to rest and restore and rebuild and recuperate just as I was supposed to. But not before I check this box. Not before I make this commitment. Stay tuned. If I had one lesson to teach, if I was allowed to be that arrogant, and I had one piece of wisdom to impart on young people, you got to learn how to trust yourself. You have to. I learned it late in life. Or I don't know, I'm not that old. I always harp on and on about how old I am, but really not that old. Maybe I should be grateful that I learned the lesson at all. But you have to be able to believe what you say. And I'm not talking about honesty, you know? Honesty typically is like how you act towards other people. And that's important too, obviously, but I'm talking about how you behave with yourself, your habits, you know? And you have to be able to trust the things you say silently to yourself, that you'll do them. And if you don't, it just kind of deteriorates on you. Everything falls apart. Your external relationships fall apart because they can't trust you either. They witness you betraying yourself over and over again. And then they think, well, Jesus, when's it my turn? You know? Even if this isn't like a front of the brain conscious thought, it's something they're internalizing. It's a behavior that they're witnessing in you. Today's workout, front squats, I'm doing 10-pound jumps. Started at 45, went all the way to 155, my daily minimum. It was awful. I had a really bad time. My body fought me every step of the way. My brace, I could not maintain it. Interestingly, 145 and 155 moved relatively easily. Up until that point, I wasn't certain that I was going to get those weights. I felt very unsteady, very wobbly, very just soft and loose, no matter what I did. Now, towards the end, I give myself a couple good smacks in the face. And, you know, that seems kind of ridiculous and dumb, but it really turns your nervous system on. I mean, if you've never slapped yourself in the kisser before putting something heavy on your back, I highly recommend it. definitely do it, you know? But to my point, it doesn't have to be weightlifting. It doesn't have to be exercise. Make a practice of making a commitment to yourself, something unambitious. I recommend something very unambitious to start. And keep that promise no matter what. Keep it on the worst day. Keep it when you have every reason in the world to drop it. And be patient. Just give it a little bit of time and watch that blossom and unfold for you. It really works. And I got no reason to lie to you about this. Like, it is maybe the only life hack I've ever learned. And if I'm honest, it wasn't Duolingo that taught me that. It was really yoga. Now almost 10 years ago. Like, just a lazy yoga commitment every day. And I got really far at yoga. I was one of the better teachers in my city. And I'd like to get back to that, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, as you can see, I'm racking like an idiot. I like to use 425s. I just think it looks old-timey and cool on the bar. And yeah, this is 155 for one. Taking quite a little rest on this one, aren't I? Yeah. I was pretty annoyed, pretty nervous. But anyway, this is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other today. And I'm going to try hard to do the same.